What's the motherfucking deal? I hope everybody is fine and dandy this terrific Tuesday evening. I hope you're all well. I hope life is treating you excellent and all that good stuff. So, welcome to The Den. If you're not familiar with The Den, well, first, I am your host, Ed Honcho. And second, The Den is a community, a conversation, a situation where we can discuss our thoughts and our feelings free and uncensored from all the ridiculousness. If you feel a particular way, even if you disagree, remember we're all friends in the den, and feel free to, voice your opinion. So we're going to talk a little bit about respect tonight. I'll talk for a little bit, then we'll open up the den lines, and we can kind of get your thoughts and your opinions on it. And you know what I mean? We're just gonna discuss some things. So again, like I said, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are doing. Say, yeah, fuck Comcast. They be on them shenanigans. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you all are doing good. And like I said, we're gonna have a good show tonight, man. We're gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna talk about respect. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. But again, so respect, just a little bit. But before we get into all that, we're gonna see which friends in the den have joined us this evening. And then we're going to get into the conversation, man. So I see Mr. Rabbit is always here bright and early. Good to see you, Mr. Rabbit. Cavity Creep, T'Challa, Miguel H. What's the motherfucking deal? Eastside Harold, Days Gambino, always good to see you. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing fine and dandy this evening. So respect. What does it really mean? You know, what is it really about? Oh man, I didn't see that 335. My fault. Oh, okay. I see you. Yeah, you was in. Okay, my fault. My fault. 335. I ain't see you. 335. You already know. You already know, man. But look, I ain't gonna do you like Kenneth. You know, we better than that. I ain't gonna hit you with the Kenneth. But ultimately, respect. We're gonna talk about what it means. You know, the benefits of it and the negatives about not having it. And what can respect really do for you? Well, first and foremost, being considerate of others' feelings, belongings, and personal space. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. But what about respect for yourself? I think that's where it all starts. And before anybody can have respect for you, you have to have respect for yourself. If you don't establish a level of respect for yourself, the thing is, I don't know if you heard the saying, it's you give the world basically the blueprint on how to treat you. And so if you don't treat yourself well, then you can't expect the rest of the world to treat you well. They'll treat you the same way you treat yourself. So if you come into the situation, you know, with a lot negating yourself or denying yourself certain things, then, you know, the world will say, well, you know, you don't deserve that. Or people will say, well, obviously that's not of importance to that person. And most people won't go out of their way to help you achieve it. Good people will. Regular people either won't notice, won't give a fuck, and the worst kind of people will take advantage of it. So I think the most important aspect of respect is respecting yourself, building up, you know, quality in your character so that you can, you know, again, like I say, give others the blueprint on how you should be treated. Again, and that's interesting that you say you have to earn my respect. Because some people say, I command respect. Some people say respect is given. Some people say respect is earned. I mean, I think there's different perspectives. I think, you know, a person who is maybe more alpha, more dominant, says, hey, I command my respect. You know, you're going to give it to me. You're going to respect me and how I feel, how I vibe. Otherwise, that's your motherfucking ass. Some people say, you know, respect is always given. I think, you know, these are people who are more of the mindset of being fair and balanced about everything. Probably got some nose hairs growing in that bitch or something. And then you have to say, you know, those people who beg for respect, and those are the people who really get no respect whatsoever because they don't quite understand how it works. So my thing about this is you have to retreated, conceited, famous tree. The thing, what you have to understand is, I think ultimately you have to command your respect. And I think that goes in hand with what I was just saying about that you give the world the blueprint on how to treat you. And so if you go into a situation and you don't feel respected, then you have to figure out some things to do to make sure that you get the respect that you deserve. And the only way you're going to get it is you're going to have to take that respect. It's a funny thing because, you know, we talk about all kind of different situations, and we were talking about fighting the other day. And, you know, I've been in a couple of scuffles in my day. And what happens is if you've ever gotten in a tussle with somebody, especially somebody who maybe didn't respect you at the time or maybe thought, you know, that you were lesser than or didn't really give you your due, if you ever whoop their ass, then you would realize they will treat you differently afterwards. If you ever deal with a bully and they think they can punk you and kind of treat you any kind of way, and you end up whooping their ass, they will treat you differently afterwards. You know, I'm not a violent person. Like I said, I had a couple of a couple of scuffles here and there, you know. But as long as everybody's kosher, I'm not a person going out looking for no trouble. I try to be cool, you know. I really try to mind my own business. Damn, you got hit with a 32-ounce bottle before we school. That's no good. That's no good at all. Yeah. It says, yeah, sometimes you don't even have to win as long as you try to whoop their ass. Yeah, that's the thing too. If you put up a good enough of a challenge to where they know that they just can't walk all over your ass, then they will definitely not cause you problems as much in the near future. Kevin Johnson ran up. That'd be the worst mistake Kevin Johnson ever. Kevin Johnson is a little nigga, a little bitty nigga. That would be bad for him. I don't care what all kind of NFL experience you've ever had. He's still too light to fight. I'd break Kevin Johnson in half. It wouldn't even be humorous. But again, there goes Mr. Zaxby's himself. Damn. So the Navy got jumped by 500. I thought, why is the military, branches of the military, why are they not getting along? What's going on with that? That's very unfortunate. But I've heard things like that. I've heard, that, each group has a different name for the others. But the funniest one I ever heard was, what was the one? Was it, the Coast Guard, Puddle Pirates. I thought that shit was the funniest fucking shit I've ever heard. Fucking Puddle Pirates. So, said, have you heard about the new law they're about to implement in Florida? Is it about respect? I don't respect the Florida laws. No. What's the new law they're about to implement in Florida? It can't be worse than anything they're about to implement in California. So, but talking about respect, man, commanding respect. How do you respect yourself? How do you earn respect for yourself? Well, I think it starts off with really, truly knowing yourself. The R. Kelly situation. I think it's a situation where you have to say, what is it that I want? What is the standard that I want for my life? What is the standard that I want to be treated? And sometimes you may need to look to other people, or you may need to see other examples of how people get treated. And said I was at a homie's house, due respect, I told her. Thought it was good, but then when I thought it was I turned around right away. Wow, that's some hoe ass shit. So my thing though about that is again, like with treating yourself with respect, is you got to put yourself in respectful situations. So one, and I know this is something that's very interesting. It's I don't know if it's I think it is a thing in the black community, but that. Actually, give me 1 second here. Let me fix something. I'm just gonna do. But about like capping on each other, okay? And niggas gonna cap, and most of the time it's all in good fun. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But I think some people can perceive it, in a different way, as being rude or being harassing or whatever. Especially if you really can't cap back and you just kind of being the one that's getting abused and getting worked over. You may not see it. You may not see it in the same way. Actually, Chatbox been there. It's just been a small one. It was actually a different one, and I've just been testing some different looks, just kind of fooling with some different things. But and sometimes I don't know, maybe it leads to low self-esteem in people or whatever else it may be. But if you feel like you're in a situation like that, or if you're in a work environment or you're in a school environment where you feel like you don't get respected, you have to maybe adjust your situation. Maybe you have to adjust the people that you hang with, the people that you associate with, and put yourself around people who respect you, who will treat you appropriately, so that way you can kind of understand how it feels to be respected. Sometimes you need like a respect starter kit. So if you're in a situation or you're in an environment where you're always getting disrespected, you're always getting treated poorly, you're always getting treated a fucked up way, then you have to kind of change the environment so you can understand the feeling. But again, it's about setting a standard for yourself, changing your environment and learning how to be treated properly. Now, when it comes to respecting others, it's pretty easy. I mean, for the most part, just don't be insulting. I think that you can be respectful but not be a suck ass, if you will, and it's not just going over the top with the shit. Because like I say, I think that you look at like some of these situations now, and we talk about the pronoun situation and all the gender stuff. I don't think it's disrespectful to stick by your guns if you feel like, hey, I don't want to call you these things. So then it's disrespect to your own beliefs if you start doing these things because somebody else does something that you don't agree with. But I think as long as you're not deliberately rude and insulting, regardless of how they may feel inside, you got to say what you kind of think. They may feel that way, but I don't really personally think that it is. But as far as just not trying to call people out of their names or try to be neglectful of what they do or how they look or anything of that nature. You're a man that won't respect, don't drink alcohol with a straw ever for any reason. Really? But what if you're at a bar and the glasses are dirty? It's a shady bar, like a dive bar, and they got a bunch of trail hogs in the bar. You know, you don't want to drink out of the same glass as them. Take home something that you don't want to take home. But you gotta add a little umbrella. Yeah, like I want it to be nice. I want it to have some fruit in it. I want it to be all tasty. See, I work with a white, Indian, Mexican, and Filipino. They disrespect each other all day, and it's funny as hell. But the thing is, it's about too. I think you got to understand. Like, I think there's levels to it, and I think people have to understand, not necessarily you, but that if you can hang and you can talk that shit and you back it up, like most people can talk shit and you know hold their own, but then you have the people who just get overly insulted by everything. So you look at that how come every time I talk about something white or I read something white, here goes Ray Ray. What's the motherfucking deal, Ray Ray? Baker man, what's good, man? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little friendly roasting. I think there's a difference when you are deliberately trying to be hurtful. I think when you're trying to really, you know, discredit and undermine somebody, and I think you can interpret when that's happening as opposed to when you're just, you know, having a little fun, you just jabbing at somebody. Yes, Phoenix, because you like eating Zaxby's off BBW butt cracks. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if that's what you're into, hey, you do your thing. Little Zaxby's, little 211s, a couple of BBWs, hey, that's a good life for some people. But but what I'm saying is that you got to just kind of know who it is that you're dealing with. Some people can't hang with that. Some people take that shit super personal and you know, they feel like you're just trying to ruin their life. And so you just kind of got to know your crowd. You got to kind of know your element. But again, we're talking about, you know, the benefits of respect. And again, respect, when you have respect, when you're in an environment of respect, you get treated well. I mean, you feel good about yourself. You don't have to worry about certain things as much. But when you are in an environment of disrespect, or what happens when people lose respect for you? And I think that, you know, that can be detrimental to certain people's psyche. It can be detrimental to the way you live. And I think that's where people start having, you know, depression and all some of those other issues. And that starts when we talked about, you know, respecting yourself. And then when other people lose respect for you, I think that kind of carries over for certain people. And I think there has to be an action that kind of starts that. I don't think just because a motherfucker is rude to you. Again, if you're weak-minded, that might be something. If motherfuckers just say, hey, fuck you, you dirty piece of shit, and then you get all upset about it, well, then that's just kind of on you. But I'm talking about respect from people that you value, or, you know, whatever it may be. Since you're a bunch of memes, we know what memes are, Rising Phoenix. We know exactly what that means. Sending memes in the DM, huh? Interesting. I always wondered about that Phoenix. But again, you know, you say if your gal loses respect for you, then you probably are going to end up in a bad situation in the relationship, and it's going to be a hard time gaining that back. Whether it's through upward DMs, whether it's through, you know, from you doing something extramarital or extra affair, extracurricular, whatever it may be, you know, that's one way to quickly lose it, or doing a lot of other things that can lose back. I mean, it can be very difficult to gain that. You will get treated differently. You will be viewed differently. And usually it's very hard to bounce back from that. So is it mandatory to respect everyone as long as they aren't disrespectful to you? A person of decent moral character would probably abide by that. But my dog lost respect. I stopped feeding her. So my thing is, some people will take advantage of the respect, and, you know, some people just don't give a fuck. But I think if you're of decent moral character, then if somebody's respectful to you, it's the least you can do is just be respectful back. Not saying, again, that you have to put them on a pedestal. Not saying that you got to kiss their ass. Not saying you got to do any of those things. It is what it is. I get a Cosmo. I love Cosmos. Cosmo drinks, Cosmopolitan, Cosmo, the little cartoon character. But again, it is what it is. So I'm looking at certain things. I'm looking at certain situations. And I know some of you, or everybody can relate to school. Everybody can think about school situations. And then we talked about, fighting, and it's not all about fighting in school, but there were situations where you didn't maybe garner the respect you thought that you should. And school is a funny environment because if you allow it to overtake you, or allow one person to disrespect you and kind of get away with it, or it can be, like I said, a work environment. It can be anywhere really, but we're just using school as a common understanding for everybody. Then everybody can do the same thing. In prison, I'm sure it works the exact same way. You let somebody punk you and treat you a certain way, then everybody gonna test you. So I know everybody talking about, when you go in, whoop the biggest motherfucker and all of this. Like, I don't think that's really mean. It's just about how you carry yourself. But I've seen, as long as, and it's not been a prison, but as long as you're not trying to be something you're not, then you carry yourself as you are, then you'll get treated as you are. But when you start trying to be something that big and bad, or try to play this image or anything of that sort, then motherfuckers gonna test you. They're gonna fill out your what's the little shit? I forgot what the shit was called with the little bubbles on it. Not to be racist. Oh yeah, man, we already know you're racist. But aren't African Americans more disrespectful than, let's say, a white man? I think if you are white, they may be more disrespectful to you. I think it's just all about how you take the culture ultimately. Different people are going to be disrespectful in their own right. I mean, there's a bunch of boondocky, corn-fed, redneckish white boys who say some things, and I think some of them are harmless, but some of them are deliberate, and they'll say some shit that you will definitely not be too keen on. And trust me, there's been like I say, I remember plenty of high school field house issues that had to get resolved in particular manners. Now, I'm not saying to change anybody's beliefs, but there were certain things that were never said ever again. So, there's that. Say, why do some men get respect from men but not from women? That's a good question. That's a very good question. And I'm going to be honest, before that changed the topic to just respect, it was actually going to be about, do women not respect men anymore? And that was going to be the topic of this evening. And again, the funny thing about it is just, when pussy gets involved, some dudes just don't know how to handle it. Like, it's just another, it's a motherfucker. He could punk every nigga he sees and be the most dominant motherfucker. But then when it gets to around, when motherfucker gets timid and gets nervous and doesn't know how to handle, being around a woman. And you got guys like that who end up being sex offenders. You have guys like that who, you say you got to get your sister, cousin home, we're to drag the hoe if she get disrespectful. Yeah, look. Yeah, I might actually trip and land a little elbow. Nah, but but you have motherfuckers, like I say, who can and can't handle it. But then again, it's just about how you carry yourself. Then you got some that are vice versa, and it can be very, very odd. Those are usually more effeminate motherfuckers who don't get respect from men but get respect from women. Why is that? Why is it that all the motherfucking makeup artists and weirdos and shit like that, women love them motherfuckers because they can teach them stuff. They respect them. Oh, he's a, or it's a, whatever's a, I don't know what the pronouns are. This, that, and the third. And let me 1 second. What's it going to do here, por favor? Let me fix this little small issue. I'm going to put y'all on let me put y'all on hold for a second, and then we're going to continue this Conversation. Who you with? Get crunk. Who you with? All right, 1 second, please, and we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Perfect.
All right, I'm back. Man, I feel you on that one, Craig. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. I'm happy. I'm happy in my relationship. Like, don't take it the wrong way. Don't mistake it, anything like that. But if me and the lady Honcho, if anything ever happens, I'm going international. I'm going foreign. I'm breaking all the rules, because the more and more I see from American black women, because I already tell you, you know, my preference is black women, natural haired black women. You know, there's nothing wrong with dating interracially or whatever, if, you know, that's what you're into. But that's just my personal preference. That's what I find most attractive. A lot of niggas don't, you know. And so with that, you have a lot of Americanized women who mentally are a little bit out of there, mentally are a little bit distraught. And it would be very difficult. It is very difficult. Again, like I say, with my personal choices and preferences. So I say, you know what? If anything goes wrong, I'm trying to break all the fucking rules. I'm just gonna break all the rules. I just said, I'll be like, fuck it at this point in time. And that's my personal preference. So, but get back into it. Let me see. So I got to go to the rat show. 15 minutes, say you 15%. Look at it. Are they paying you, Mr. Rabbit? Make sure you get your money. Foreign females are better in what sense? I think because they don't have the, you know, they don't have the Americanized mindset. I think they are, I don't want to say more submissive, but I don't think they are as combative. You know what I mean? For some reason, again, like I say, you have a lot of issues with broken homes and things of that nature. And, you know, you have to kind of, you got to deal with a lot more problems. And then, you know, you have them that are, they're so stuck in the American ways, which is usually being materialistic, you know, worried about a lot of unnecessary stuff. And it's just, it's really difficult. Like I say, it's a very slim chance to find, you know, what I prefer. And I mean, I know a lot of motherfuckers like that. I know a lot of people are getting away from the westernized woman. And a lot of women are having trouble finding a suitable mate because of, you know, guys want a certain thing. They want to have a certain lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with, I'm not trying to say that women shouldn't have rights. I'm not trying to say women shouldn't have freedoms or anything like that. I'm just saying it's just some of the things that they choose to embrace. It's really a turnoff for a lot of men. So, you know, but women don't. A lot of women who are Midwesterners don't realize that. And so, you know, they want to be in their way, but then they want a man to do all this. Like, I mean, how many women have you seen? And shit, I said it today, you know, that it's a lot of West women who sit there and say, oh, I'm crazy and I'm this and I'm that. And a man's got to, he going to have to, you know, deal with me and all that if he want me. Well, who wants that? Who wants a motherfucker who's already saying that they're crazy? It's a lot of niggas who would do some anything for some pussy, but I'm not pussy crazy like that, man. I smashed a lot of hoes in my lifetime, so I'm not really tripping on that. Yeah, I don't want the baddest bitch. Bitch, behave. That's what I want. A bitch with that don't got behavior issues. You know, like, come on. I want to be able to take you out in public and not have to worry about you doing some type. I don't know why the fuck I thought Scotty was in here. Fucking, I put a little blanket down for him, and it looked like out the corner of my eye, like he was laying there looking at me. I'm tripping because he was in here earlier. But look, don't be having, I don't want a bitch with a behavior shit. Oh yeah, and after 5 baby daddies, I ain't got no time for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you get, man. And these hoes think like, and again, I'm not going to call them hoes. Yeah, I do. I call them hoes. I like hoes. I don't like bitches. So these bitches, I love ladies. Again, I try like, so when people think I'm talking about all women, I'm not. Here's my thing is I love ladies. I like hoes. I hate bitches. Okay. So. Yeah, a bitch. The thing that shit kills me too. A man, he should love me and all my kid. Why? Like I don't want to deal with all them other niggas' personalities. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't the lick. You know what I'm saying? Because even with this situation, like I say, you know, Lady Honcho has a young one, but I love her. I love the kid. You know, it was, like I say, it was in a situation when I was having my stuff, my own issues going on, and she helped me get through some certain things mentally, and I learned to embrace the kid, and it's a cool little situation. But why is this not? Why am I about to say? Why my background ain't wavy? Y'all ain't tell me my background wasn't wavy, baby. You know I'm wavy. But it's just like it was something that was not planned. It was something that had to be developed. Like it was never my intention to go and do the kid thing, but it worked out, and it is cool. One girl in my school looked like Patrick from SpongeBob. It's a lot of hoes that look like Patrick from SpongeBob, man. It's a lot of square bitches. Dominic, what's going on? Is it because people aren't used to materialistic stuff, and when they get that opportunity to get those things, they get addicted to it? I don't think that it's that. I think that people who are kind of more empty inside look for more materialistic things. You know what I'm saying? You've been watching black men videos who say they watching. They were dating black men again after they have. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, and this is why I get on niggas. You know, we like I say we can be 100% in the den. You know, we're gonna keep it all the way real. You know, the funny thing about it is because, you know, it'd be killing me with, you know, the interracial situation. Because, you know, like I ain't gonna lie, the white dudes, when they get a black chick, it always be a bad black chick. Like, man, how did white boy pull that bitch? How you get that? How you get that bitch? But then you see niggas will go get the fucking muffin man, the fucking Michelin man, go get fucking Pillsbury dough bitch. You know what I'm saying? And be proud that a motherfucker talk about I don't date no black hoes, but you go fuck with this fucking tire. not a spare tire, right? Just a whole tire. You know what I'm saying? Round ass bitch and be happy to fucking put that on their fucking arm. I like that shit be killing me, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just it's just awfulness. And so, you know, but whatever floats your boat, y'all got to deal with those issues, not me. And again, I tell you, I have nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with BBWs. You got to be careful with the fabs, man. So my thing is though, and we'll open up the Denline here shortly. Getting back to the respect factor, you know, we get on a tangent about the females. It's gonna be you just round. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. I just got a tire, just a whole tire. This bitch just round, you know. Bro, date a bitch that look like bait. Oh, good grief. And so, you know, my thing is just with respect. Again, if you don't respect yourself, motherfuckers ain't gonna respect you. If the bitch out here looking all kind of crazy, motherfuckers ain't gonna respect that. But here's the thing with respect. When we're talking about women, when we're talking about these things, why is it that a broad automatically feels like she has to have respect because she becomes a mom? Like she could be the whole neighborhood community property, the friendliest freak in the neighborhood, let's say that. But as soon as she becomes a mom, now, don't talk to me like that, I'm a mother. What? You know, that shit happens to people by accident. A lot. A whole lot. So I'm supposed to give you respect for that? Are you a married mother? You know what I mean? Like, where you got a ring? How am I supposed to know your mama? I don't see no ring. I don't see nothing that would certify that other than you with this baby carriage and some other shit. But it is what it is, you know. Being a mother doesn't give you any brownie points. And so, again, and I'm saying, you know, this is not to be just overly disrespectful, but if a bitch is disrespectful and you say something back to her, you can't call me that, I'm a mother. But Who? I send mixed messages? I never send mixed messages. I got a whole lot of mixed messages in my songs. Am I wrong to feel this way? Y'all don't know about that crit, man. And so, you know, my deal is ultimately, yeah, and the thing is, the ones that be the single mom want to be all of the credit for being a mother. Don't be no kind of mom at all. But you say pussy's worse anyway, so who cares about these actions? It is. I mean, it's completely overrated, and is what I'm saying. Like, because now if you just put a price on, I got $1 million pussy, but bitch, you stay in the fucking projects. Like, what are you talking about? Do elders respect their elders? Yeah, it's called memories, because elders is gone. You know, my thing is, this nigga talking about sticky green. I'm talking about big crit. This dude Kenneth, man, I worry about him. And again, like I say, you know, it is because it is part of the westernized way, because, you know, a MILF used to be a thing. Now motherfuckers be talking about they MILFs at 22 years old and shit. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, you know, my thing is just, like I say, it is overvalued because women are throwing it away. You know, back in the day, think about it. Some of y'all niggas too young to really know. But all my folks who, if you probably about 25, 25 might still be too young. I say if you about 28 and up, if you 28 and up, you know what I'm saying? You understand how difficult it used to be in the earlier days of the interwebs, trying to get a chick to send you some news, trying to get some action, you know, or even trying to get a chick from school or something. Send news, what's up, man? Let me see what it's working with. Now, motherfuckers send that shit unsolicited. Like, bitches be talking about, oh, niggas be sending unsolicited dick pic. Bitches sending unsolicited. I don't want that shit. I don't want that shit, bitch. What the fuck I'm supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? Like, and it's not even unsolicited news. It's like, these motherfuckers, it's like they just throw it on the gram. They just throw it on the fucking, on the Twitter for everybody to see. You know what I mean? And then, you know, want to be respected and all that shit. Like, it's just, it's nothing to it anymore. It ain't even no asking now. They just throwing it out there, and that's the shit. And that's why I say it's not as worthwhile anymore. You know, it used to be a challenge. It used to be effort to be enticed. You know, it used to be tempted, tantalized, and all that other stuff. None of that happens anymore. It's just, it's there. And so when there's no challenge, when there becomes no effort, you know, I can see why these young niggas just kind of the way they is. You know, we used to have to work for shit back in the day, but you know. It's neither here nor there. So it is what it is. There's a difference between a thought and a slut. What is the difference? Tell me what the difference is, Mr. Rabbit. Well, them thoughts do the same thing. So you saying the filthiest stuff always end up highlighted on the gram. But that's just what it is. The gram don't give a damn. But you really need to, the gram ain't even what it is. I'm telling y'all, Twitter is where it's at. Y'all gotta fuck with the Twitters. The Twitters is where the shenanigans happen. But I am scared for Twitter now that Tumblr has gotten, you know, pornerized. I'm telling you, that shit sucks. Not because I enjoyed the Tumblr porn, but used to be able to make a profit off that shit. But now, no Tumblr porn. Got to come up with new methods. So there's that. Jay Bird, I'm gonna be honest with you, all right? I'm gonna need you not coming here with the lies, okay? First off, you ain't got mad choppers, okay? You ain't got no niggas, so y'all can't be cautious. So stop all the shenanigans. You know, no hoes, so no stalkers, no none of that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look, Darren got the plug, man. Darren got the plug. He shares with the world. He lets you know where to find it. But here's my deal, man. You say back in the day, the good site was Bang Bros. Man, look, Bang Bros before you had to like, was this shit? Are these niggas really fucking these hoes and throwing them out? These niggas wild, son. These niggas wild, son. This how I need to be doing these hoes, son. And then, and then you just like, wait, how these niggas keep getting away with this? You telling me these hoes don't know about this shit? These hoes got to know about the Bang Bus. The Bang Bus was the shit, man. Them niggas had to make a killing off that shit. Them motherfuckers had to make a fucking killing off the Bang. But that was a very novel idea. You know what I mean? In the beginning of the internet, like I said, I should have. See, that's why I say people don't listen to people. Stick with your dreams. I should have followed my fucking dreams. Or my plan originally would have been a fucking internet porn millionaire, and I'd be in some foreign country right now. Probably talking about some bullshit. Who knows? I'm just talking shit. Give me a second. I'm finna open up the den here in just a second. But again, like I say, for those of you who don't know, who may not catch it, you're going to be going back in the den 7 days a week, every night at 10. I'm going to be back on my shit. I'm on a mission to become the king of content. So I'm going to start flooding all these fucking platforms with more and more stuff. I've been working on some streamlining methods to put out more content, to put out some better shit. So slowly I'm going to start executing more. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. All right, there we go. Using the web, I'm telling y'all, I've been telling y'all that the internet is where it's at. What's up, Super Dave? What's the motherfucking deal? But I'm telling you, man, I've been telling y'all for a minute. And then now it's normal. Like niggas used to think, you tripping, you fuck with the internet, with your hoes on it, man. I'm telling y'all, it's where it goes down. And now it is the norm. If you're not fucking with it, like motherfucker, you missing out. You know what I'm saying? Like now motherfuckers put me on shit. I stalled out for a while. Motherfuckers put me on some new shit now. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Damn, what's this shit? Tinder? What is a Tinder? You know, nah, I'm fucking around. I don't think I ever fuck with Tinder, honestly. But Kenneth, shut your goofy ass. Kenneth, have you done your homework, my nigga? Cause you on some bullshit. I know y'all niggas close to vacay time and all that, but you gotta stop with the bullshit. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho? This is Ernest.
Ernest, what's the motherfucking deal, Ernest? What you want to drop in the den this evening, man?
Yeah, on the aspect of respect, man. Like when I was younger, man, I was at a mind frame where I commanded respect. Feel me? Like I feel, looking back on it, bro, I feel like I was young, didn't have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. And yeah, but now you fast forward, you know what I'm saying, got kids, raising them up. I feel like, bro, as you mature, you realize, man, everybody deserves respect, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's just where I'm at with it, you know, like, because I feel like it's all about respect, bro. Because, like, the way I think about it, you don't have to like me, man, mm-hmm. but you will respect me, mm-hmm. you know? So, and as long as you give me respect, I give you respect, all is good. Exactly. Now, one of the things that I tell my son is that the only thing to fear is fear itself. You know, fear being fearful. Exactly. Now, here's one thing that I think about, bro. Now that I got, you know, a wife, kids, you know what I'm saying? And by my old man not being there when I was growing up, I worry that one day I might get in a situation, because it's all about respect. Once you let somebody pull your car, like you were saying earlier, if you let them do it, bro, everybody gonna. So you just can't let that happen. Yeah. And I know me. You know, if I'm in a situation, man, I don't bother nobody, but I ain't gonna let nobody bother me. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And when you're raising, you know, kids and you're looking out for your wife, Like, I believe, it's just me, bro. I believe that the two things that a man slash father, husband is responsible for is to provide for his family and to protect his family. At a fundamental level, that's your responsibility. Okay. So if I'm in a situation where, you know, I got to do what I got to do, and it end up being, you know, some type of consequences where I got to lead a fam, that'll be the only thing I regret. But at the end of the day, certain things is out of your control, because when you put in a situation like that, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Now, on the aspect of these females, man, not really respecting men, you kind of touched on that a little bit. I say, bro, that it's a two-way street. Like, if you look at TV, whether it's rap videos or just TV in general, you know what I'm saying? The way the culture is now, I mean, us males, a lot of us dog out the women, and in return, they do the same thing. So it's like a revolving door, bro. So I'm one of the fortunate ones, Honcho. Like, you know, not everybody find their soulmate in life, man. Some people, bro, they go their whole life and never find their soulmate. Well, I found mine. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm one of the lucky ones, man. But at the end of the day, it's about respect. Like, you gotta have standards, bro. Like, females gotta have standards, and us males, us men, we gotta have standards. And I think part of the problem is in that regard, that male-female relationship, a lot of us go into it with little to no standards.
Exactly.
And when you approach it like that, you know what I'm saying? That's what you gonna get. You gonna get little to nothing out of it, because you had no expectation going in, which leads me to my last point. Like you say, dudes is so easily whipped out here, bro, to where that's the only thing they care about is what's between their legs. But like I try to tell my son, bro, at a young age, society gonna drill it in you that, oh man, she a dime, she bad. Man, that ain't what's important when you're looking at a female. The two things, bro, that I tell my son to look for in the female. What is her mindset? What's three things? What is her mindset? Do she have any goals, long or short term? And do she have good character? Those are the qualifications. You know? But anyway, that's what I got, Honcho. Appreciate it, man.
Already, Ernest, man. Again, always a great call by Ernest, man. Appreciate you calling in. And what he said, man, it was cool, because I was about to ask him, and he answered it before I even asked him. And what that was is about going into a relationship with standards. And I think that's kind of a difference of the situation. Like, you got to have some standards, man. If you're not looking for a particular thing, you just kind of, I just want to have some in-house pussy. I just want to have something to fuck on, or whatever it may be. Or you go into reasons that are less than righteous. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about, in a religious sense. Just that are morally upstanding, if you will. It's gonna crumble, it's gonna fall, and that's what a lot of it is. You have a lot of people getting in relationships, a lot of these situations that create baby mamas and these, like I say, broken families and things, is because these niggas just fucking with a bitch because she look good, and then you either get comfortable with the in-house pussy to have some love, and then you slip up, or the rubber bust, or whatever the fuck you got going on. Wow, now you got a family. It was never because she had no standards. It was never because she had something going for her that you wanted to support. You got your own dreams. She got her own dreams. Y'all trying to support that shit. It's about, man, it was some good pussy. I want to keep it on my team. And the next thing you know, you done slipped up, and then you done created a life, and that's what we have. We have so much of that shit. And then that life gets created, and you realize, man, this bitch really wasn't shit. She cuckoo, or she say, oh, this a whole ass nigga, I ain't really fucking with him like that. And then you have a kid that's in the mix, and he or she, is created out of something, and doesn't have that foundation, doesn't have that stability, and nobody is teaching them, the right way. And that's just kind of what it is. I mean, ultimately, that it is what it is. So, you just kind of got to deal with that. So you say, 21 is fucking 21 Savage concert. Yeah, these motherfuckers old repeater rapper ass niggas. I'm gonna use another nigga line. Let's probably well, Kenneth don't holler at no hoes. He probably use other simps lines to get at the hoes. But it is what it is. Yeah, the mood agenda. We gotta say that shit. I gotta write that down. That shit was fucking funny. Good old Gender Town. That's the best. You said I realized in mid 2017, 18, all I did was extended situationships evolve. Yeah, that's what I say, man. The thing about it is, as long as you progress and evolve, it don't matter if you started from the very, very bottom, mentally and just, the way you approach shit. As long as you're growing, even if it's a gradual growth, everybody ain't gonna fucking figure it out all at once. But shit, everybody got their own fucking path. As long as you growing and you knowing, eventually it'll start showing. Well, hopefully she don't start showing, but it'll start showing. Man, McVice, I feel you. That's the dope shit right there, man. Yeah, fuck all that. I'm trying to get that spaceship. I don't know about the Elon Musk spaceship. This nigga's gonna be on SpaceX and be out of there. So it is what it is. Somebody say, let me see. Let me say hi to be the alpha of the relationship. That's what she got y'all thinking. Big three, booty, Leslie Jones here. Not these studio text, but yeah, look, if she can work the boards, hey, that's a plus. You know what I'm saying? Look, fuck it, just hold that right there. Make sure the fucking Denline don't come unplugged. Goddamn it, you didn't put it in too far. Goddamn, that's what she said. But so there's that. My whole deal is the Den Space Association. Shit. Space Force. What you talking about? Again, like I said, like you said, he made some very valid points, but you got to go into a relationship, and some of you youngsters need to know this too. And I'm not telling you to go into every situation looking for love. If you fuck around, but make sure that you being 100. Don't tell a bitch you loving her and you want to be with her and you all this just because you're trying to get some fucking pussy, man. Like that's simp shit. That's that Kenneth mode. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. If you're gonna be real and you just trying to smash, let her know what it is. Like, don't bend, don't fold. If she feel like, well, we've been doing this for a while. I feel this way or that way. You stand your ground. You know what I mean? You have to be what you're there for. And if you take a L in that situation, well, she wants something more, but you really not feeling that. You have to be willing to take a L in that situation and realize it's a couple of billion bitches out there. You know what I'm saying? And so you can find other broads if you in a certain mind frame of that you're not trying to be in a relationship. You have plenty of opportunities. You may take a L there, but you got to be about your moral character, your standings, your principles. So don't, because you fucking with a chick for a little while and well, what are we really? And if that's not what you want, we really ain't nothing. And if she say, well, if we're not gonna be nothing and we can't stay nothing, then you got to take that L, man. That's just how that goes. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the Denline this evening?
It's Edmund.
Edmund. Mexican men, what's going on? What do you want to drop in the den this evening?
Speaking about the value of respect, do you believe that? Well, I have a question regarding respect of situation between a parent and a son and daughter. Like, where does the boundary lie when someone like a son or a daughter wants to do what they want to do, but at the same time have to respect, the rules and boundaries of what the parent, sets as rules and dictates in that person's life. How do you manage that line of respect?
Okay, so are you talking about the angle from the parent or from the son or the daughter? I mean, from whose position?
From the son, like from the younger person.
Okay. What you have to understand is ultimately, if you are in the younger position, it depends on if you got your own shit together, then you're always respectful, and you can respectfully disagree. You can respectfully choose your own way. You can respectfully live your life because it is your life. You know, thank you for birthing me. Thank you for creating me. But ultimately, it's my choice to make the decisions that I do, and I have to live with them. So I think if you're no longer under their roof, then you do what you want to do, but you have to be responsible for the decisions you make. And if they no longer want to encourage, support, or whatever that is, I think that's kind of on the character of the parents. But he said that you clicked on stream on Soft Sports and say I'm live. That's crazy. So the thing about it is ultimately that, you know, you can do what you want to do, because that's the choice you have as a human being. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Now, I know people say it's honorable, respect your parents, and I think that respect doesn't mean be completely controlled by them. Respect can say, hey, you know, I appreciate everything you've done for me. I appreciate the advice that you've given me. I appreciate, you know, the position you've put me in life. But at this point, I feel like I need to do these things, or at this point, I feel like I need to go in this direction. And when you make those kind of decisions, you have to accept everything that comes along with it, because that's what happens, you know. And so you can't make a choice of your own, and when shit starts to kind of crumble, try to go running back or start trying to go do, you know, you have to be willing to accept, you know, their response to that. So, I mean, you can do those things, but you got to understand it's your life, you know, and you control it. You make the decisions. Don't live your life for someone else, but always be respectful, because these are the people that brought you into this world, you know. And so you have them to thank for that, or you have them to hate for that. But if you have a good relationship, you can disagree respectfully. You can choose your own path respectfully.
So you think that goes in the same line, let's say, with someone, like, say, for example, if I were to say that, hey, mom and dad, like, I don't feel like a man anymore. Like, I feel more woman. Like, would they lose respect if I were to just change my gender or my identity?
Very interesting question, and I'm gonna give you a real answer. And again, if I were your parents, well, hey, we'd have to probably say, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ed man, Ed woman, whatever you want to become now. We may have to have a serious conversation, and I'll be honest. Some parents are cool with that. Some parents, you know, they're gonna love you. What is it? Not undying love, whatever, you know, the love with basically limitless love for their children, or whatever it may be. You know, it says something like that in the Bible. I forgot the exact term, but some motherfuckers not gonna have it. Some motherfuckers, I ain't raise you like that. You on that dope. They might take you to conversion therapy or some of those type of things, but you can feel free to say that. Unconditional, that's the word. I don't know why I couldn't think about it. Unconditional love. Thank you. But ultimately, you have to be, if you're going to do that and that's what you feel, or you feel that inside, then you have to take whatever response they give and probably be ready to roll solo after that. You got to be prepared for both ends. Again, they may overly embrace you, or they may say, hey, you know what? It was nice knowing you, son, daughter, whoever, and adios you. So I think you got that, man. I mean, that's kind of the situation. That's some crazy shit. So yeah.
Yeah, but that was just my questions, my thoughts.
All right. Okay. Well, appreciate your call.
Probably I move with
All right. So, you know, they say it's going down in Gender Town. I'm assuming you were going to say something off the wall there, Ed man, so I had to hit you with the quick trigger finger. It was getting real sketchy there. So, you know, that was very interesting. That's a whole different conversation. I definitely would not want to even be a fly on the wall when people have some of those conversations. Vincent, what's the motherfucking deal, man? But like you were saying, I want to get back to what Ernest was saying. But basically about that a man's job is to provide and protect. Well, shit, so we got started. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Hello. All right. Well, I'm very discouraged with that call. So again, my thing is, about being a provider and a protector, and ultimately that's what it's supposed to be. And like he mentioned, sometimes there are situations where you will get caught up, but you got to do what you got to do. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Josh, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop into the den tonight?
All right, man. But in terms of respect, man, one of those things you have to give it to. One of the things that you have to like show respect towards others for you to get respect back, and I firmly believe that your path to be a person that leads by example is not about the person that makes rah person that makes the loudest noise, but it's someone that leads by example with me. But I'm guessing in society, as it's going the way it's going, it seems like the people that need respect or trying to gain respect, I feel like the respect factor is being diminished less and less. Especially when you have, I'm gonna just say a Donald Trump in office where people can just do what they want and be who they want to be and be loud, flamboyant, rude, disrespectful to everybody else. You can get away with it, and you can pretty much treat anybody how you want to be treated. But if you treat everybody in a bad way, in a horrible way, how is anybody gonna respect you? Unless they're forced to respect you. So that's just my thing on that.
Okay. Man, good point. I'm gonna spill a little. Well, I can't spill no salt, but I'm gonna speak on that, man. I appreciate the call there, Josh.
All right, man.
Already. So very interesting. And I find it very interesting. I think the thing with DT, the old Trizzy Trump, is that a lot of people live vicariously through Trump, honestly. And a lot of people would love to be in his position. But you got to be honest, that man has been he been with it so far. He ain't took no L's yet. Who knows how it all is going to end. But and I think that's a different thing. That kind of goes into hold on, we got a call here. What's the motherfucking deal? What do we got? Who do we have calling on the den this evening?
What's happening, Honcho? This is Mr. Rabbit.
What is the motherfucking deal, Mr. Rabbit?
I wanted to speak on the topic.
All right. What do you want to drop on the topic tonight?
Okay. Respect for me, and I'm just going to speak on on a respecting yourself perspective. For me, it's more of how you treat people, like respecting others, being respectful to upperclassmen, being respectful to more experienced people, and just not being weird.
Okay. So, like, why do you feel like, when you say upperclassmen, do you mean just kind of, maybe authority figures in general? Why do you feel necessarily having to be respectful to upperclassmen? Because some upperclassmen can be less mature than you are. And you may be more sophisticated, more mentally advanced than they are. I don't think necessarily, the upperclassmen is a thing. But again, I want to hear your opinion as to why. But maybe people who are more experienced, if it's a particular field you're trying to get into or something like that, that I could agree with. But why do you feel, kind of that way, if you could explain?
Well, like you said, if they have more experience, and it just depends on how they act and how I see them firsthand. Like if I see you making sirens at a lunch table, then I'm probably not going to have any respect for you. I'm just gonna assume that you're one of those kind of people and just move on with life. Or if you're one of those people that actually gets shit done, then maybe I'll have an ounce of respect for you.
Okay. Okay. And I have a question. Like, what is one of those kind of people who goes wee woo at the lunch table? What do you like? What kind of person is that?
It's one of those people that are just clowns and just don't really give a shit.
Okay. Okay. So you're about getting stuff done. You're about trying to move forward. You're about trying to advance. And so you say that you should give respect to people who essentially have earned it, who are doing the right thing, who are moving in the right direction, and basically ignore those who are basically really don't have respect for themselves because they're not really making an attempt to do better with themselves.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I could understand that. I can understand. So is there a personal example? I mean, how do you feel? Because you're saying, you know, about respecting yourself. Do you think when you carry yourself with a certain level of respect that those type of people are more likely to respect you back? Or how do you feel about that? Hello.
Oh shit. Sorry. The level of respect that I carry with myself.
Yeah, the level of respect you carry, is that more likely to get you more respect if you carry yourself with a certain level of respect? You know, let me find out you Shaq Cushion over here. I'm falling asleep on the line, man.
Shit. Yeah, it kind of like, fuck, I'm pulling a Shaq Kush.
All right, Mr. Rabbit. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know what's going on there. It's all Gucci. We got love for Mr. Rabbit. Mr. Rabbit is just he does some strange things sometimes. But we like Mr. Rabbit. We like Mr. Rabbit way more than we like Kenneth. And Kenneth, I saw your comments earlier, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Going to county was probably one of the most relaxing times in my life in the last few years because you ain't got no expectations. You just chill until you get up out there, bitch. So you really be real chill. What's the motherfucking deal? Well, all right there. So with that whole thing, you know, maybe you would be crying to get up out of there or whatever. But like I say, it's no big deal. You know what I mean? No big deal. It's just you go over there, you relax, you chill, you do what you got to do, and you move on. So it is what it is. I don't even know what that shit said. It was just some crazy music started playing, so we just call that a rap. But ultimately, like I said, I saw you know, Dave's talking about a female product, and I think, yeah, you know, we're in this day and age too, you know, things have changed a little bit, but ultimately, as a man, you are supposed to protect your family, and it can be like protecting them financially, make sure they have all their needs and things like that, but in the physical protection also. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do you have calling into the den this evening?
Yeah, man, this is Kenneth.
All right, what you got, Kenneth? What you want to drop in the den this evening?
All right, man, all jokes aside and that ACON shit, man, honestly, like, what was Harris County Jail like? That's all I wanted to ask.
You can probably ask like 1 out of every 5 people they could tell you. It's no big deal, man. It really ain't. Like, the worst thing about it is going in and getting out. Actually being there is, I need to take care of that. Actually being there is nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it just is what it is. You there, you ain't really doing too much of shit. You fucking playing checkers and shit and cards, reading books, just wasting away the time, man. And fucking, it is. I mean, this is my thing. Like, my whole thing with jail is like, it's not that it's oh my God, it's jail, it's worse. It's so fucking boring and it's just like, you know, you try to nap, try to get your little sleep in when the fucking guards ain't being no hoes about it. You eat a bunch of shitty food. You listen to a bunch of niggas lie and tell a bunch of bullshit ass stories. Crackheads tell the funniest fucking stories. I ain't gonna lie, like, it's always the fucking funny. You gonna hear the funniest fucking stories. Like, no, you know, because like I say, you go in there, as long as you ain't in that bitch trying to flex and all that stupid shit, you know, ain't nobody really fucking with you, man. If you go in there trying to play hard, though, you know, you just bumping your gums and doing a bunch of stupid shit, they gonna test you. Or if you go in there acting like a hoe or trying to, you know, looking like you easy prey, then yeah, you gonna get the motherfucker gonna fuck with you just because you're gonna be an easy target. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Kenneth, go to bed. I ain't giving you no crackhead story. I might tell the Filipino crackhead story on the next mixer. Maybe I'll probably do a mixer this weekend, and I'll tell you the story about the Filipino crackhead who had an incident. The reason why he was in jail. It was hilarious. He was the funniest. He was funny as shit. His name was Win. There's like two Wins. It was Win 1 and Win 2. Win 1 ain't really say shit, but Win 2 was fucking hilarious. That motherfucker was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, it ain't shit. The worst thing about it is getting processed in and processed out, dog. That shit is fucking takes forever. One time it damn near took a day to get processed in that bitch. You fucking lay on them fucking hard ass benches, the fucking concrete shit. Again, wait until you get to where they gonna put you. It's just, the processing is a terrible shit. Outside of that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta slide a nigga on the whole taker because you was dressed up for an interview. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers will try to tell you some old crazy shit, some old stupid shit. And, you know, but like I said, I ain't never really just had no issues. It ain't never really been a thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always had a cool little time. I mean, it's just been cool. I ain't never had no problems. So, like I say again, it's how you carry yourself. If a motherfucker see you as a target, as a prey, as a vulnerability, they gonna take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? If you have, like I say, if you go in there trying to flex like you something that you not, motherfuckers gonna test you. I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something in life. I don't care how hard you think you is. I don't care what you think you've been through. It's always a motherfucker that's been through some more shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's part of my deal. Is like, man, I'm not trying to be in this bitch any longer than I have to be. So I'm not in this hoe trying to start shit. Some niggas be in that hoe just be comfortable, and that's just, you know, them jailbird ass niggas, they just be in that bitch, and they cool, not jaybirds, jailbirds. And so they be cool with that shit. I'm not comfortable in that bitch. I mean, I'm a chill. I'm not gonna be all nervous, but I'm just like, I'm not trying to be here long. I need to be. So as long as you ain't talking no shit, you ain't popping off, we Gucci, man. Like, we cool. It ain't nothing. It really ain't nothing. It's just fucking time, dog. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this evening?
This is Kenneth again.
God damn it, Kenneth. What do you want, Kenneth?
All right, so look, man. Remember how I sent you the whole story of the one kid that died about 2 nights ago, to be exact?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like, all of a sudden, like, everyone is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to say RIP in the comments, but, like, my big issue is, like, number one, like, this dude was in jail, like, a month or 2 ago before he actually died, which was 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in jail, and before he went into jail, nobody told him nothing. And then once he's in jail, it's free him, it's free him, it's free him.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly he has all these people that are close to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's free him, free him, free him. He gets out of jail, like, oh yeah, he out, this and that, whoop-de-whoop. Like, nobody's telling this dude that he needs to stop doing what he's doing, like. And, like, I'm looking at the post that said that he died. It has over 800 likes and 844 likes. And I'm sitting here like, out of all 844 people, how many of these people told him to stop doing what he was doing after he got out of jail? Like, you would think once you got out of jail, you would stop doing what you were doing and learn your lesson.
Man,
like,
no, niggas don't, man. Let me tell you.
Saying, like, I'm pretty sure you heard this before. You can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. And that's kind of how I felt about this kid. Like, I mean, I don't feel bad at all for him. Like, that's the life you chose to live. But what's bothering me is that all the people say they cool with him. Why didn't y'all tell him to stop doing what he was doing? That's my big issue.
Because motherfuckers are fake, and And that's something you got to realize, especially while you're young and in school. You may think that these motherfuckers going to be your bestest buddies. They're going to be your bestest friend or all this other shit. It's really not like that. And you're going to have one or two motherfuckers you're going to be cool with. Sometimes they say, you meet your best friends in college, because the thing about when you around motherfuckers that where you live and where you from, a lot of times you become cool with them just because you in the same proximity. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's certain motherfuckers you will link up and you be cool because y'all have other things in common, other discussions. Y'all have similar mind frames, you have similar goals or whatever else it may be, similar perspectives on things. But a lot of motherfuckers is just cool because they live in the same vicinity, and they really not that cool, because it be the same motherfuckers say they saying this, that, and the third, really talking behind your back and want your downfall and all that other stuff. Two, if you've been raised a certain way and you've never seen anything else, a lot of these niggas go and they get locked up. They don't have a change of heart. They get in there having conversations with the same niggas who've been doing the same shit and say, as soon as I get out of here, I'm gonna have this, and this. And a lot of it is the way that, and that's why I say about the music you listen to, the diet. And again, we're not talking about just the food, but the diet, the things that you intake, the listening to other motherfuckers who this all they know and this all they gonna do. And in reality, there's a lot of motherfuckers that are afraid, excuse me, to do something different. Because one, they feel like, well, this all I know, this all I'm gonna ever be, which is stupid. That's why it killed me when motherfuckers be talking about I'm gonna keep it real and only, do this one thing, when there's so many opportunities out there. But niggas keep going back to the streets, and I can understand. Trust me, I understand that once you kind of get some shit on your record, depending on the situation, I understand why recidivism is so high, because it can be very, very difficult to obtain, quality employment. Then even if you do, especially if you was getting money and you go get some quality employment and you sitting here like, man, I done been at this bitch, fucking 8 hours, you know what I'm saying? I done been at this bitch 12 hours. I'm only making, $100, maybe $200 if you're lucky or whatever it is, especially like I say, because you're not going to really get no high-end employment, without, some type of letters behind your name or certifications or whatever else it may be. Or sometimes you got to wait a couple of years after, certain things happen. And you thinking about, man, if I was posted up, in the trap, if I was posted up doing my thing, man, I'd made a rack by now. I'd made a couple of thousand by now. It will impact the way you think. Trust me, because I've been there. I think about this shit quite often.
Honcho.
What's up?
Honcho?
Yo, what's up, Simp and Ken?
All right, so I kind of wanted to add to what to the whole story, like, and the crazy thing is about this dude is that he had a grandma, from what I'm hearing from credible sources, you could say he had a grandma that actually cared about him, and then his grandma made sure that he was going to school and all that good jazz. But then his father, he made sure that nigga he let him do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. He let him be in the streets. When the car that he died in, his parents gave him, like his dad gave him a car. His mom is not in the picture for whatever that reason may be, but his dad is the one that basically allowed him to do whatever he wanted to do. And like the thing that's crazy about this is, like, I played football with this dude in middle school, 8th grade year. I remember he was like, and then he played football last year. He went to Taylor, so I played against him last year as well. And I remember he was playing freshman year, and from what I was hearing, like a few months after the season was over, freshman year, like I remember he was supposed to get moved up to varsity as a sophomore, and then like some crazy stories from Taylor was like they had varsity people scared to tackle this man. That's how good he was playing football, and it's like, damn, you wasted all of this potential just because you wanted to run the streets. This is what bothers me.
Well, I mean, different people got different priorities, man, and that's what you got to understand. Everybody's goal ain't to be the best. Everybody don't want to be, a star football player. Some niggas do. They do it just because it's something to do. It's a talent that they have. Let me tell you something, man. I didn't play ball. I played ball in high school. And, I played a little bit in college, and I kind of started doing my own little stupid shit, and I fucked up. But some of the best motherfuckers I knew, man, was niggas in the street. Like, I'm telling you, never went to the next level. Matter of fact, hands down, like, it's a nigga I know. When I say this nigga, this nigga was the truth, I'm not even gonna use no name. Baker Man know who I'm talking about. When I say this nigga was the best receiver I've ever seen in my life. Ever. Like, the coldest nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, never seen this nigga drop a ball. When I say this nigga catch anything, you know what I'm saying, was had opportunities, you know, and just made some bad decisions and fucking missed out on those opportunities. I mean, had scholarships like out of sophomore, junior, and then like the day before signing the scholarship, had a situation happen, ended up losing out on that scholarship, having to go to a JUCO. Went to the JUCO, broke every record in the JUCO. Every record. Broke every record his first year, backdoored and broke all his records the next year. You know what I'm saying? And then had another opportunity. Was supposed to go. Was supposed to sign Oklahoma, Florida. A lot of schools was looking at this nigga, man. When I say the real motherfucking deal, like I seen this nigga just do stuff to niggas like I have never seen pros do. You know what I'm saying? And just when I say it was cold, but man, you know, sometimes them streets be calling niggas. You know, if that's what you grew up in, it can be hard to get out of that, man. And that's why I say, you know, looking at my situation and what I did, and that's why I say I cut a lot of people off. That's why I say I cut people off, because I know if you go back to being around them same characters, you go back to being, you know what I'm saying? You go back to being around that same environment, you have no choice but to end up doing the same shit you was fucking doing, man. And so that's why I say you gotta, and that's why, you know, when people talk about, how would you feel because people cut you off? But I mean, if it was for their betterment, if it was for the best of them, you know, I can't be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But what you got to understand is, if in my mind I'm living the best life, you know, when I'm out of jail, and 99 times out of 10, or 99 times out of 100, I'm not getting caught up for the shit I'm doing. You know, I feel like I'm living lavish. I got hood fame. I got all this other good shit going. You know, I'm fucking hoes. I got money. I got, you know, a car. I'm doing what I want to do. You know what I mean? In my mind, I'm winning, right? In my mind, I got it all. In the next man's mind, you know, he may be saying, this nigga here tripping. He moving too fast. You're not going to be able to enjoy all these things. But in my mind, I'm living life, you know. Again, it's just different perspectives for different people, man. And so if you've been raised a certain way, and I'm not justifying it because I think it's terrible. I think too many of us are caught up in that. I think, you know, not a lot of us had opportunities to see something different. So that's why I say I'm thankful for, you know, the family that I have, because they showed me, you know, different things. And I just got caught up in shit because I was doing some dumb shit, because I chose to do some dumb shit. And again, you know, sometimes, like, I mean, honestly, sometimes be this close to bouncing back, but then I have to stop. I have to think. That's why I say, you know, meditating is good and all these other things are good, because what's the motherfucking deal, Jay Dizzle? You know, you got to sit and you got to think about, you know, what you have to risk, what you have to lose. Is it really worth it? You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like, man, I understand, but when you're young and that's all you know, and, you know, again, I'm not condoning any of it. But like I saw Shaolin say, sometimes you got to leave motherfuckers behind. Yeah, man. Some motherfuckers just got to be left behind. And again, and that's why I say I made a lot of decisions I made. That's why I say I cut a lot of fucking people off. Man, like I say, it's few and far between. It might be, you know, it might be 4 or 5 motherfuckers who got my real number to get in touch with me. And one of them being my mama. You know, the other one being, again, my old lady. And then, you know, Baker Man got it, Kush got it. It might be 1, 2 other people who really got it. You know what I'm saying? And that's really a wrap, man. Honestly, it's really a wrap. And it's not just to say, you know, I'm acting funny, but it's because it's just the best way to be. Because like I said, I'm not trying to get caught up in no old stuff. I'm not trying to deal with a lot of old mentalities. You know what I'm saying? Good or bad. I'm just trying to do something different. I'm trying to see a different way. And I feel like, you know, slowly but surely, you know, my mentality, the way I approach stuff is changing. But, you know, it's a lot that goes with that. And again, it can be a struggle to get out of that mind frame. Like I say, when you eat, when you know, you go bust a move and a couple of the hours, you got a few $1,000s in your pocket, you know what I'm saying, to do what you want to do with it. Shit, it ain't nothing to it. It can be hard to stop that shit. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in for the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho. This Ernest again, man.
Ernest, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop on the Denline tonight?
Yeah, man, I'm listening to what you're saying. Just want to kind of comment on that, man. I relate to that 100%, man, because, you know, it's like you got 5 people around you, bro, that you can trust 100%. You can trust with your life. Then to have 50 people around you and you know, half of them suspect. You don't know who's who. So I definitely, you know what I'm saying, understand what you're saying, and also about, like, trying to just shift gears, bro, and take it to another level. I think the reason a lot of people stay stuck where they at is because it's like you say, they don't know another way. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody come along, because it happen all the time, man, you know, people tell them, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying, it's another way. Try to show them the ropes, but they so conditioned, bro, because that's all they know. They don't want to go another way. You know what I'm saying? And I got to a point where I realized this, man, is that, actually, you say it all the time on the show, man. I help anybody that's willing to help themselves. Yeah. And that's real. Because no matter how much you care or anybody care, bro, if that person don't care enough for themselves to change their condition, it ain't gonna never happen, bro. Exactly. But that's what I got, Honcho. Appreciate it.
Already, Ernest, man. Appreciate the call, man. Another good one, and that's ultimately what it is, man. And so when a person, like you said, man, the conditioning, and that's really what it is, and that's the motherfucking word of the day, man. Motherfuckers get conditioned into a particular mind frame, a mindset, a certain lifestyle. Trust me. And what you got to understand is, excuse me, and I had to learn is, motherfuckers think that it's the drug addicts or the people doing the drugs or the addict. It's the people who you know who own the shit, who own the work, who own the weed, or who own the pills, or whoever own whatever. Yeah, they are addicts. They're addicted to a substance, and that can be difficult to stop that substance. I mean, it can be done, but what you have with the pusher, the ones who selling it to them, is they're addicted to a lifestyle. You know what I mean? And that shit is like, I didn't realize that shit. Like, you know, it took some things that I had to see, and, you know, somebody kind of breaking it down to me. And actually, it was a drug addict who fucking broke it down to a nigga. And it's like, you may be addicted to this shit. I may be addicted to, you know, this, and this, but, you know, those folks, you know, y'all addicted to that lifestyle. And, you know, it can be just as tough to quit. And so it can be hard to let go of those things, especially when it's when it's fun, when it's, you know, that adrenaline rush, when you getting away with shit you're not supposed to get away with, and you constantly doing it, and, you know, it starts to reinforce itself. Oh, it's easy. This ain't shit. This ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you like that. I mean, ask a motherfucker, whoever, you know, a person who maybe used to commit robberies or burglaries or something like that. Maybe that was they way of they lick. It's an adrenaline rush. Like, for me, sit there and tell you I ain't never pulled a kick door. I done pulled some kick doors. I done some off the wall shit. You know, I'll tell you, I'll be cool. You don't underestimate nobody. And I'm telling you, it's a fucking adrenaline rush. It's a fucking adrenaline rush. You doing some shit you ain't supposed to be doing, and when you get away with that shit and you get a win out that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's a feeling that you can't replicate. Ain't no drugs gonna replicate that, man. Ain't no drugs gonna give you that feeling. And you know, it's people shit. There's people that done a lot more dirt than me. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't just something, you know, it was the only reason the situation like that happened is because you know, I had to collect some dues, you know, for some certain things, and it was what it was. But that shit will have you feeling a particular kind of way, man. And motherfuckers become addicted with that. People who, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly, I may have pulled a kick door. This is just all the stories told in the den are for example purposes only. But my thing is, you know, it is what it is. Like the statute of limitations, that shit is up. But, you know what I mean, it's just like these situations, you know what I'm saying, yeah, they come back around and do it, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. But my thing is just to tell y'all youngsters is what happens to the den. These are all for educational purposes only. All that good shit. But you know what I mean. My thing is just that you have to. Trust me, look. They gonna have to dig. They gonna have to dig uber deep for that type of shit. But digging down to China. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in the den this evening?
Yeah, man, this Kendall's on promise. This is gonna be the last time I'm gonna call in, man.
All right, what you got?
Tell part I got finals tomorrow, regardless. So look, man, I kind of wanted to. I want to see your perspective on the whole no snitching rule. Like, I feel like no snitching only applies until it's to a certain extent. Like, if it's in school and you getting a suspension for not snitching, I feel like most people will probably take it. Like, if you get suspended from school for a long period of time, some people will take it. But what I feel like no snitching, like that shit stops when people get jail time. Like, from what I heard, a lot of people don't start snitching when they hear jail time. Is that true, or like how do you feel about that, honestly?
You said no snitching with jail time. I don't know what you're talking about with suspension. I don't know nothing about no snitching and suspension. But man, like I say, you'd be surprised, man. Motherfuckers don't even hear jail time. They start getting to talking, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna look. It is what it is. It's motherfuckers gonna have some conversations. You know what I'm saying? It'd be them niggas that you wonder who get away with a bunch of shit. They already have established relationships with the people, man. So it is what it is, man. You do your time. You do the crime, do the time, man. You get caught up, you do what you got to do, man. Stop snitching again. Like I've told y'all, man, about that. If you playing the game, then you gotta pay your dues. But I'm talking about innocent civilians who not asking for that type of lifestyle. They trying to really live a upstanding life. You gotta do what's best for you, man. You know what I mean? You gotta do what's best for you. I'm not telling you to go snitch, but you gotta do what's best for you. You can put yourself, you be in a bad way depending on who you talking about. So there's that. But ultimately, like I say, allegedly and all those other things. But like I say, I mean, I'm so far removed from any of that shit. It is what it is. But you gotta fucking. It's a feeling, and I'm talking about those things then that's why I think a lot of people stay in that shit. It's a feeling. It's motherfuckers get caught up for shit all the time. It's motherfuckers go do a decade, go do a quarter in the fucking pen or something like that, and fucking come out and the world had been changed and everything else, and they go back to doing the same shit that they fucking did to get up in that hole because they feel like that's all they know. They listening to these niggas come in telling new stories about what's going on in the world and how this is that and that is this, and they go back out. As soon as they get out, they get caught up in the same damn shit, man. So it's a very awkward situation. But here's the deal. I ain't gonna lie, my ass getting tired. I'm about to get up early and get back at it. But I appreciate y'all, man, again. We can put a buddy here to tell the time. What the hell? What the fuck is y'all talking about? Only time I should involve my family, say I won't see my family 50 years. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Shaq Kush. I'm like, don't be snitching, nigga. No, but you know what I'm saying. But the thing about it is, though, ultimately, man, it's like I say, but I do want to kind of speak on what Ken's was saying, and I kind of want to say, I do want to answer that about the fake people. You got a lot of people, man, and I looked at that post that you sent me. It's a lot of people on that bitch just because they want to get some shine, man. And I'm telling you, it's some old mark ass shit. And like I say, people will pull up, like you said, why didn't nobody tell him, when he was alive? Motherfuckers don't really care, man. Motherfuckers don't really care. And that shit right there is going to be flavor of the week. As soon as, they bury him and put him under, 2 weeks later, ain't nobody going to be worried about that shit. 2 weeks from then, everybody going to be on some new shit. It's going to be on whoever, whatever the new fucking wave is, and that's just how it's gonna be. Don't nobody really give a fuck. In the moment, yeah, they act like they care. In the moment, free this nigga, they don't give a fuck about that nigga, man. And so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, because don't nobody really give a fuck. People care about themselves. Oh, can I get a little shine off of this? Oh, I knew that motherfucker, man. I knew him too. Okay, well, what does that do? What does that do for you? You know what I'm saying? What benefit did you get by saying, "Oh, I knew him," or putting RIP on a IG post? What is that doing for you? If you're really concerned, and you sincere in your thoughts, there's other ways you can do it. Send something to his family. You know what I mean? Send something to his people. Just, out of sincerity or feeling a particular way. You know what I'm saying? If you got something on your mind. But again, no motherfuckers don't get that much of a fuck. Ain't nobody gonna check on his people. Ain't nobody gonna see how his family feel. They just gonna post on IG posts because it's cool to do, and bounce. Don't nobody give a fuck. And they gonna talk about the post like, oh yeah, I posted on that too. I seen that. Yeah, I seen nobody die. It's just a conversation, man. It made me think about that fucking that Project Pat, that Blunt to My Lips, that fucking song with the niggas in the beginning and they talking or whatever. Man, you seen that nigga? He been over there about 3 days. He probably smoking and snorting that shit. Motherfuckers is just niggas just sitting on the porch and just having some conversation about some old bullshit, man. And ultimately, that's really all it is. It's just motherfuckers need something to talk about, and that's just something to talk about because it's a change from the everyday norms, and so motherfuckers don't really care, man. Motherfuckers really don't care. I mean, that's just what it is, and it sounds terrible. It sounds horrible. That's what motherfuckers go to funerals for, just to go see them. Let me go make sure they dead. It is what it is. Oh, hold on. I ain't even see that shit. Hold on. She tried to sneak me, man. I ain't even see that shit. Hold on. Tried to sneak me while I wasn't looking, man. Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, nobody cares. It ain't about none of that shit, though. They want to see for sure you dead. And then what happens with death is it just reminds people of their own mortality. That's what they really are. Oh, see, I got you yesterday. You got me today, man. Look, we're going to have to look. Every time I see you, we're going to have to catch a square, man. But that's what it is with death, man. It briefly reminds you of your own mortality. And that's why you're really sad. People don't care, man. People don't really care. And it's unfortunate, it's unfortunate. I feel bad for the family, all that fake friend shit. Man, it is what it is. So, no, ain't no mixer tonight. Goddamn, is it the weekend? It ain't the weekend. Ain't no goddamn mixer tonight. It's fucking Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It ain't fucking shaking. Yeah, call me when I was sleeping. And look, that's fucked up, man. Yeah. So by the time we have CRISPR, shit, CRISPR in action now. Motherfuckers talking about they done made some designer twin babies and took the AIDS out and shit. But that's a conversation for another den. Look, we might have to. We ain't had an off the wall den in a while. We'll make something. We'll talk about something crazy tomorrow. But that being said, hey, my friends in the den, I appreciate all of y'all. But y'all know how it is when Kenneth be in the den late. I hate to do it to y'all, but y'all be fucking with that nigga. Kenneth's too tough, man. So with that being said, y'all gotta get the fuck up out of here, man. I'm gone.